Hello wonderful interpreters, and thank you again for tuning in. As you know, interpreters keep on getting frustrated with the My Language Link Interpreting Works scheduling system. And so interpreters keep on reporting issues with payment, not getting paid enough, or not getting paid whatsoever. Also, not being able to get a hold of anybody by phone or to access any information from the platform, past or present. We will have more updates concerning the platform, but in this video, I will concentrate on talking about the PERC process, our legal process, the unfair labor practice. We have hearing dates, and also the decision from the commission that we just got concerning WFSE's appeal to our election process. So let's get started. As you know by now, we had a pre-hearing conference with the examiner assigned by PERC to our unfair labor practice complaint on June 15th. As you can see here, we were giving a range of dates from the beginning of July to the end of September to choose from for the actual hearing. While we were available anytime, LNI's lawyers are not available until September. So the hearing will be on 2 consecutive days from September 13th to September 14th. As you see here, we will also have a pre-hearing Zoom meeting on August 23rd at 10 a.m. LNI will have to answer finally for illegally making changes to our working conditions while the election is unfolding. Moving on, the commission issued a decision on WFSE's appeal to stop the election, as you can see here. The decision says that WFSE filed a notice to appeal to the commission, as you can see here, pretty much challenging PERC's jurisdiction when they determined that we reached the 30% of cards needed to start the election. Now, read the second paragraph on this image where the commission is emphasizing what WFSE conveniently ignored from the law governing this procedure. It says that the decision is an administrative determination by PERC. Here you see the screenshot from my last video showing the law, saying that the showing of interest requirement is for administrative determination and cannot be litigated at any hearing. Here you can see that PERC used the same point in their decision, explaining again that this decision by PERC cannot be litigated at any hearing. Here they are clearly saying WFSE's self-styled appeal must be dismissed. Here they conclude with the order saying that WFSE's appeal is dismissed and the matter is now returned to PERC. So we will have the election despite WFSE's efforts to stop it. I want you to remember that from the beginning of our election process, WFSE has been pretending to be willing to represent LNI interpreters while working behind closed doors to try and stop this election because they know they're going to lose big time. Interpreters are tired of WFSE, as we have showcased time after time, and they don't want them whatsoever. An interpreter shared this image with me. It was from one of their meetings with their members back in January, earlier this year. This is how they misrepresent the truth. I want you to look at this. According to this graphic here, they had 19% of cards and we only had 12%. And this is back when PERC was still fixing the list of interpreters that LNI provided them because of the inaccuracies that we reported. Then here you see Dario de la Rosa sent this email on May 25th saying that according to his count, there are 1,221 interpreters on the most recent list and that all 3 organizations submitted qualifying showing of interest. More on that later. Now we're going to show you the truth and the real numbers. Please remember to pause this video at any time in order to read the information that you see on the screen. Here, we submitted a public disclosure request to PERC on May 27th, asking them for the total number of cards from everybody, valid or not, as you can see here. So as of May 27th, as you can see, we have submitted 504 cards, and of those cards, Dario counted 372 as valid. making it over the required 30%. And that's why we're having an election, because we have surpassed the 30% required. Now, out of the 504 cards that we provided, we have, by our count, more than 400 that are valid and counting. So we've been in communication with PERC about this as well. Now, keep on reading number 2 here and see how WFSE only submitted 295 cards, and of those, only 208 of those cards were counted as valid. Those are the real numbers, okay? Now, when it comes to the Interpreters Rising organization, it says here that they submitted only 132 cards with only 125 valid cards. They also submitted their cards on January 15th, earlier this year, which is way past the 10-day deadline after we filed for representation. We have talked to you about this. Here you see the law again governing this. You see that anybody wanting to intervene in this election process needs to file a motion no later than 10 days after the petition has been filed, as you can see here. Here you see from back in January this year when PERC was working on the list, the last paragraph here says clearly that Interpreters Rising did not submit any cards to support their motion. We've talked about this before. Here is an email that they submitted though on December 2nd last year, letting us know they wanted to intervene, saying that they would be mailing their cards to PERC, meaning that they had not done it yet. And you just saw how they submitted their cards on January 15th this year, way past, again, the 10-day deadline. So while Dario said that they submitted qualifying cards, it doesn't mean that they are automatically in the election, since their cards were late, and that issue will be decided right before the election starts. The law challenges their participation, as you just saw here. Moving on, here are the real numbers on this image. As you see here, since May 27th, when it comes to the cards submitted by everyone, we are clearly in the lead by far, Washington Interpreters, and that is only as of May 27th, not including all the cards that we keep on getting since then. Here we received this letter from PERC earlier this morning as well, where the executive director is addressing WFSE and LNI, letting them know that WFSE's appeal was denied. And as you see here, we will have a chance to request that the election unfolds while our ULP and Fair Labor Practice process is pending. Hi again. You have seen time after time after time that we provide you with the facts. You had WFSE leaders, their president, Juan, some of the people in there, calling us, sore losers because we lost an election when we were back in their union, saying that we didn't have any experience, that we didn't know what we were doing, that we're amateurs, However, we started this election process on November 20th, and here we are. Time after time, WFSE's appeals are just inaccurate, are just unsuccessful. They have tried to derail this election process because while they say they want to represent you, the reality is they do not want to compete with us because we are representing the will of the people. We all want to work directly with LNI. We want to have our own schedule, and we want the scheduling system to stay for those that want it. But we also want our freedom back to build directly and to have businesses the way we had them before. So at this point, if you have signed any cards for WFSE or the other organization, I want you to know that you're welcome to sign with us anyway. Your card is valid. Even if you signed with them, you could sign with us. Guys, I want you to be encouraged. I know that this is a very hard time for the majority of LNI interpreters. We're tired of this system. I'm not working with the system, but those that are cannot really find any work unless they're favored. Those that are dealing with it have a problem getting paid. and all of these shenanigans happening. So we need a strong union composed of people that understand the industry, and those are us, the interpreters. Come and be part of something real, not something like WFSE, where they have people that are not interpreters trying to lead the way and they just simply can't. It's really sad how WFSE calls themselves a union, a big union, affiliated with AFL-CIO. They say they want to represent people. However, they are afraid to compete with us because we represent the majority of LNI interpreters. They want things easy. These people, they are those leaders, not all of them, but the vast majority of them are used to getting things easy, the easy way. They do not even want an election to happen. So this is the moment where you see what's going on. We have the unquestionable lead here, okay? WFSE is really scared because they cannot control PERC. They don't have any influence there, okay? They're a little stunned, bypassing the executive director, okay? Alienating PERC staff that made the decision that we followed the process and we provided with the evidence to have the election. That little stunt going over them for a self-styled appeal. This is the language that the commission used in their response denying their appeal, okay? Going for a self-styled appeal, bypassing everybody at PERC, is just a sad attempt to get this election overturned. But it didn't happen. Now we're gonna have an election. We are still getting cards from people. We are accepting cards still. So please look in the description below to find instructions on how to send us your signed card. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it in order to keep on getting more relevant information for our interpreting community. See you in the next video. Do not lose hope. And as always, God bless.